What's up guys, Troy here with another video. Today I want to run you through 5 of the top exercises that you should add to your routine to improve your conditioning and also improve your body composition. So the first movement, we're going to go into a lateral lunge, but the keys is the appropriate hip mechanics on this one. So I'm going to take the kettlebell on my left arm, I'm going to lunge to the right, so you always lunge to the opposites. Now the key to a lateral lunge is that the leg that you're not going towards, this one is going to stay straight. That way it creates a really big hip hinge movement where you're actually bending this one. So the hinge is going to come from this hips, that foot is also staying down, so it's not coming up like that, that is staying down. And the key for this one is that the swing, the kettlebell has to come in between the legs, not on the inside, because you can, I have seen some people do that, but it's going to turn into a bicep curl. We want to try and engage the hips in this movement like a traditional clean, like the way it's supposed to be done. So if it comes in here, you hinge, always turn the kettlebell in for this lateral lunge, because you're going to snap the hips and get it into that clean position. That way you can really tuck your elbow. I've seen a lot of people do it in the past where they'll just come down and they'll reach through here, but because there's no power for the hips, it just ends up being a bicep curl. It's not the right way to do it. So you're going to make sure that the kettlebell comes between the legs. It's a big swing, it's a hip hinge in the movement, and it's a swing right between the legs. And you want to practice both sides, because you're going to always have one tighter leg and obviously one uncoordinated arm. So you're going to change arms. It's going to turn on the way in as you go down. You step. You want to make sure that both toes are also straight. If you turn your toe out, it is okay to some degree, but you're more prone to knee injuries or hurting your groin, because that's not the way the body's supposed to bend. It's supposed to bend like this in any sort of lateral movement in sports. We're going to hinge, internally rotate, swing that kettlebell behind with that deep hip hinge, and that way we can thrust it up with the elbow tucked into the body the best you can. That's going to make sure it's coming from hip drive. You're not using biceps or your elbows to get it up. So we're going to step, hinge between the legs, and throw. So you've got to really bum backwards, bum forwards to get that power. That way it's the proper way it's coming from the hips. The next one I recommend is adding a forward lunge to press on that same leg. So I'm going to lunge to the right, lateral lunge, clean it back up to the middle, and forward lunge and press. So it's going to look like this. I hinge, I come up, I forward lunge and I press. I come back to the middle, I step, I hinge, clean to the shoulder, forward and press. And again, between the legs, snap and clean, forward lunge and press. Show you on the other side. So step, hinge, clean, that leg goes forward, press overhead. Again, hinge, and press up overhead. The next one, you get into a kneeling position. This is going to really help your rotational muscles. It does have to be done properly if you have really tight shoulders or if you have a kyphotic posture. So what we're going to do, we're going to be doing a lateral swing with some rotation. So your arms are going to stay straight, but you also want to make sure, if you haven't got the appropriate mobility through your shoulders, that to some degree you're going to have to turn your hips as well and come down in this motion. Ideally, if you could have your hips forward and you have enough trunk flexibility to come down, is a hinge movement where your bum is still coming backwards. You're still thrusting with this right leg at the back coming forward, but it's all that rotational power through those obliques. It looks like this. And on the other side. Again, you want to think about, you don't want to smack yourself in the leg, so you always visualize where the kettlebell is going before you start. So I'm going to rotation, trying to get this hip backwards out of the way, rotating up, coming from the back leg, and the rotational power. Fourth exercise I recommend is a one kettlebell destroyer. So one kettlebell destroyer is you're going to a push-up deadlift with a kettlebell flat. So with the hands out the side, push up, jump in, grab the kettlebell, come up to the shoulders, and you're going to go into a forward lunge, down, clean it up again, forward lunge, and repeat. So put it down, place it, push up, jump up, clean forward lunge, clean forward lunge. That's the one kettlebell destroyer. So obviously, next best thing to a one kettlebell destroyer, and it's my number 5, is the 2 kettlebell destroyer. So the 2 kettlebell destroyer, you put the kettlebell down, you jump back into a push-up, down, jump right in, make sure your back is flat, standing up. Take your feet into a stance, you clean them to the shoulders, forward lunge, coming back into a wide stance to next one, forward lunge. In real time, Looks like this. And there you go. That's 5 exercises that I recommend that'll really pick up your body composition. Please don't forget to subscribe. Let's try and get the subscriber rate up. I really appreciate your support. See you in the next one.